Hello students, welcome to E-Padasala. Myself Dr. V. Ramesh Babu, Associate Professor from Kumaraguru College of Technology, attached with Department of Textile Technology. Today we are going to discuss a topic on quality control, concept, principles, standards and specification, quality assurance, care symbol and standard symbols. So this topic nowadays is very important, and the following things we are going to cover in this lecture. We are going to see the definitions and concepts and principles, what is quality assurance and quality control in apparel, where we are going to see quality control in spreading, cutting, sieving and finishing, and standards and specification for apparel quality, finally the care label and symbols. So the quality, there are a lot of definitions. So in the textbook we can find out n number of definitions. So all put together, quality is just conforming to the standards. There will be set of specification given by the buyers or customers. We have to fulfill that quality, that requirement, that is called quality. So as simple as that, we can say that quality is just conforming to the standards. There are n number of quality definitions in the textbook. So the definition says that quality is just conforming to the standards. There are a lot of customer requirement. Based on the customer requirement, buyer going to frame the specification. We have to fulfill that specification, that is called quality. And quality control. See, to achieve the quality, there should be a quality control concept where the people going to apply so many techniques and going to say whether the goods are good or bad. If it is good, they are going to send the shipment. If it is bad, they are going to reject the particular product. So this is the concepts of principle of quality control. It is nothing but for each and every quality thing we have to plan. So what are the requirements from the buyer? Based on that requirements, we have to understand the customer quality requirements, then organizing training quality. See, once we understand the quality requirements, then we have to train the quality control people, then they encourage ensure the proper flow of the quality requirements in the QC department, and we have to implement the systems, then we have to check whether the processes are going correctly, and finally we have to give feedback to the concerned department whether it is good or bad. This cycle is very important. First we have to plan, then we have to implement the system, that is called do, and we have to check whether our plan is going as per our requirement. If it is not going as per requirement, we have to act. That is nothing but giving feedback to the concerned people. So quality, see, there are so many terms. Quality control and quality assurance. The difference between quality control and quality assurance. Quality control, where at the end of the product finished, we are going to check the garment and whether say that it is good or bad. So that kind of system is followed traditionally, but this system going to give lot of rejections and time consuming, and repairing also will be there, and cost of quality also become high. To eliminate that, people are nowadays moving to the quality assurance, where we ensuring the quality at each and every stage from fiber to fashion. So we are going to implement the system in such a way that whenever we are going to produce certain things, we are ensuring the quality in that particular point itself. So there is no problem of getting non-quality products. So that's what the slide shows, the quality assurance ensuring process from starting to end to assure quality. So for this we have to ensure the process where we have to clearly identify, assess and improve the defined process for fulfilling the requirement of customer, to provide adequate confidence that product optimally fulfills customer expectation, to ensure that requirement are clearly established and defined process compared to this requirement. So as a whole states that quality assurance is like that. The saying is that quality should not be looked into it, quality should be manufactured into it. That is the concept where you are going to ensure that the quality at each and every stage of the process. So this is all about quality control in apparel. In apparel industry there are different sections. One is quality control in fabric, quality control in spreading, quality control in cutting, quality control in sieving and quality in finishing. So if you are going to ensure the quality in each and every section, the final output going to be the quality product. That is our main motto of this quality control in apparel. In fabric, we have to look into these four parameters. One is physical characteristics, B is performance characteristics, C is visual defects and D is shade specification. In physical, any fabric, we have to check the type of fiber and yarn, and in the yarn also you have to check the count of the yarn, twist in the yarn, and in what way the yarn is constructed, whether it is ply yarn or spun yarn or filament yarn, and what are the different finishes given to the yarn, and like softening finishes and some flame retardant finishes may be given to the yarn, and finished width of the fabric. So in the width is very important parameter in the fabric. If width is varies means we cannot do the markup planning and we cannot do the proper cutting. So first we have to look at the physical character of the fabric, where we entirely check the fabric constructional parameters. Second, we have to look into the performance characteristics, where we are going to check the thing like see, once the fabric made, we are not going to use in the gray fabric, we are going to dye the fabric or print the fabric. In case we are going to give dye or print or going to give different finishes to the fabric, we have to check these following parameters like color fastness to light, color fastness to washing, color fastness to laundering, color fastness to rubbing, and we have to check the strength parameters of fabric like tensile strength, bursting strength, and finally, if any finishes given to the fabric, you have to check the finishes fastness in the fabric like flame retardant, antimicrobial finish, all those things. So this all based on the performance of the fabric after making the garment. And the third one is visible defects. The fabric nowadays made in looms, that may be power loom, hand loom, or shuttless loom. So any loom, there might be a chance for so many defects going to happen during weaving. So that defects may be holes or broken ends or misstitch like that. So we visually have to check the fabric manually or by using fabric scan, and we have to check the fabric whether there is a defect or not. If there is a defect, we have to grade the fabric in 4-point system or 10-point system. So this, based on this system, we are going to grade the fabric. If the fabric is accepted, we are going to send for cutting. It is not accepted, we are going to send back to the mill. We are going to reject the fabric. And finally, shade. So nowadays no garment is without shade. So in that case, we have to check this color of the fabric whether as per the buyer requirement. Buyer already maybe send the lab dips or swatches to us. We have to match the shade with that particular lab dips or swatches. If the shade is there is a difference means, again we have to treat the fabric to make to the particular shade. So these 4 parameters is very critical when we are going to check the fabric. So these are the major common defect that will be occur in the fabric. So I have listed the slide shows the major defects like shading, flaws, inconsistent width, shrinkage, color loss, strength loss, sewability, bowing and skewing, like that. So for that shading, we have to manually inspect the fabric, or color we have to use color matching instrument spectrophotometer to check the shade of the fabric. If there is any defect in the fabric like flaws, so we have to use 4-point 10-point grading system to check the fabric quality for taking into the next stage. If there is a width variation in the fabric, obviously we have to check in the fabric scanner. Shrinkage is very critical issues still nowadays. If the shrinkage maximum buyer going to allow 3% shrinkage, if it exceeds 3%, they are going to reject the lot. So every buyer having their own standards like AA, TCC, BS, ISO, they specify we have to test the shrinkage in that particular method. We are going to test the shrinkage, it is not up to the mark, we have to reject the fabric. On color loss, for color loss we have to carry out the color fastness test like washing, rubbing, light fastness, etc. to ensure that color is always fixed in the fabric after washing also. And strength loss, this is issue where will happen after laundering. After laundering, the garment going to have frequent wear and tear. So in that case, we have to ensure that the fabric having enough strength like tensile, tear and GSM of the fabric. Sewability, if the fabric quality may be very good, there is no defect in the fabric, but in sewing the people going to have expect some problem, the fabric will not be move smoothly. So in that case, we have to check the sewability also, where we are going to check the seam strength, seam puckering, seam slippage test. Finally, the bowing is very serious problem, where it is nothing but angular displacement of warp or weft thread. This will happen because of improper processing in weaving as well as dyeing and printing. So for bowing and skewing, so far there is no proper method. We have to cut the fabric and we have to, on the opposite direction, we have to extend the fabric to remove the bowing and skewing. Once fabric is thoroughly checked, that is coming to the spreading department. In spreading, these are the things we have to look into it. So once fabric is thoroughly checked and it is okay means, then it is moved to the spreading department, where we are going to lay the fabric one above other for cutting purpose. In the spreading, these are the points we have to looking at. First one is varies in the fabric width. If the fabric width, always there will be a tolerance. If suppose the fabric width is 44 inches, means plus or minus half an inch tolerance are allowed. More than half an inch means that going to create lot of problem in markup planning. So we have to ensure that fabric width within the tolerance maximum plus or minus half an inch. Next is ply alignment. See, this is there are different types of fabric, one-way fabric and two-way fabric. So if based on that fabric, we have to lay the fabric in a particular way that is not going to affect the markup planning. So one-way fabric we have to lay all face up, two-way fabric we have to lay in any direction. And very critical parameter is tension. While spreading, there will be manual spreading and machine spreading. In machine spreading, the problem tension will be controlled because we are going to give positive feed, and the tension problem going to be eliminated. But in manual spreading, we are going to have this kind of problem. There will be over tension or under tension. If there is a over tension, after some time the fabric going to come back to the original position. So the pattern or the garment component which you are going to cut will be reduced in its measurement. If it is under tension or loosely we are spreading the fabric means the garment component having excess measurement. So in this case we have to maintain optimum tension that should be controlled based on giving some positive motion to the spreading, or in manual spreading the spreader should ensure that they are laying in the proper way. And the direction of spread, there are different types of fabric like pile fabric and without pile fabric. If there is a pile fabric, we have to ensure that all the piles are placing in the same direction. If you are going to reverse the piles means the garment look going to be ungraceful. And in synthetic fabric like polyester, nylon, this static electricity is a major problem. Because of this static electricity, the piles going to be stick to each other. So in that case we cannot pick up one piece from the bundles. So that going to increase the time of the sieving operator while sieving. To eliminate the static electricity, you have to spray the anti-static agent, or you have to spread in between the lace the papers, anti-static paper. And final elimination of fabric faults. As earlier we discussed that in fabric there will be lot of faults like holes or missions or Barry effect or something like that. While spreading, if the checker or spreader going to visually see that they have to stop the spreading and they have to eliminate that fault, and they have to make splicing to ensure that the faults are not going to the fabric. And finally shade sorting. Always our dyeing and printing or batch process. In the batch process there are a lot of possibilities of shade variations. So in that case we have to group the rolls like A roll and B roll and C roll. Only we have to take the fabric from A roll for spreading. Once it is completed, you go for B lot. Likewise you have to control quality in spreading. Once spreading is over, next job is cutting. So in the cutting, these are the common problem we are going to frayed edges. This is happen because of blunt knife. Cutting knife is not frequently sharpened, thread at the edges going to unravel. So we have to frequently sharpen the knife. The second one is fuzzy and serrated edges. This might be happen because of there might be some damages in the cutting knife. This is going to affect the edges of the component. The same cutting damage going to reproduce in the edges of the component. So you have to change the knife. Ply to ply fusion, this is mainly happen in the synthetic fabric when the knife is moving at high speed. So this knife going to generate the heat. This heat going to fuse the edges. So this can be avoided by applying anti-coolant agent. Single edge fusion, that also going to happen in this thing. For that you have to apply the anti-coolant agent. So pattern accuracy is very important. If pattern in grading or in cutting the pattern, if the shapes or sizes are not proper means that going to reproduce in the garment also. So you have to make sure that before cutting each and every pattern thoroughly checked. So there are two things, notches and drills. So these things we are making on the component to ensure that while assembling we are matching the components in the right way. So in the notching and drilling, if over notch or the notch size is big means after washing that thing going to be unraveled, so we are going to get holes. And in drilling also the holes are very big means that going to be a garment defect. So to ensure that we have to choose right dimension of notches and right drills will be used. Once cutting is over, the components are coming to the sieving department. In the sieving department, before going to sieving, we have to make a quality specification sheet. That sheet will should consist of illustration of garment or illustration of each and every component what we are going to sieve. So in that illustration, we have to clearly mention what is the seam you are going to use, what is the stitches per inch you are going to use, what is the dimension of that armhole or pockets, everything should be clearly mentioned. This might be useful for operator to understand the quality and make quality product. We are making aware of the operator quality conscious. So these are the example for different quality spec. Initially I showed for entire garment, now it is for collar. In collar also we are going to mention what stitch should be used, where it should be used, and the button and buttonhole where you have to place. So each and everything clearly specifying on the quality specification sheet that might be very much useful for operator to ensure that they are making quality product. So this is for collar and pocket. In pocket, clearly they have mentioned what is the dimension of the pocket, length and width, and the very sharp points and the attaching point from high point shoulder to front placket. Everything clearly mentioned, so there will not be any confusion to the operator to making the product. So in the sieving department, we cannot do 100% inspection because time consuming. So we are selecting the sampling inspection. So this is the one method of doing sampling inspection. We are moving the components in the bundle form. Suppose the bundle there are 12 pieces, n equal to 12 means in a bundle we are having 12 pieces. So we are, the quality controller will randomly check the bundles. If there is any defect, you are going to reject. If there is no defect, you are going to send to the next process. So likewise the quality control frequently going to check. See here n equal to 12 means the bundle size, c equal to 0 means should not be any defect, and s is skip interval. If there is any defect, every 4 bundles should be continuously checked. M is the clearance interval. If there is not any defect in continuous 4 bundle, after every 2 bundle we can check the process. This is a very simple way to check the bundles in the sieving department. So in the sieving department, there are 3 classification of defects. One is sieving defect, one is seaming defect, and assembling defect. Sieving defect happens because of needle point. Whenever needle moves up and down, this defect going to occur. One is needle damage. Needle damage is nothing but because of needle the problem is happening to the warp and weft ends. So to correct this, we have to choose the right type of needle, and we have to make sure that the needle size, needle number are as per the count of sieving thread. And feed damage, this mostly happen because of operator handling. If operator is stretching or overfeeding, the feed damage going to occur to the fabric. Unskipped stitches, this mainly happens because of wrong timing of sieving machine. On the thread breakages, because of high tension, the sieving thread breaks. Broken stitches, that also because of high tension. The seam grin and seam puckering is the thing that where you are going to get irregular effect on seam lines. This is because of improper handling, tension of the sieving thread, and various machine parameter. And wrong stitch density, it means that wrong SPA. Buyer specifies some SPA, we are keeping some other SPA, that become wrong stitch density. Uneven stitch density, it is that because of operator handling, we are getting different in SPA, so that we have to be corrected. And finally the oil spots and stains, this is happened because of careless maintenance. Next one is seaming defects. This seaming defects is nothing but joining of, or while joining of more than 2 fabrics, defects going to happen. Initially we saw the seaming defect because of needle action. This is while joining 2 fabrics, these are the common defects going to occur. One is incorrect or uneven width of the seams. This is due to the folding and sieving or improper handling of the operator. Runoff. Runoff is when we are going to do the hemming operations, or when you are going to fold and stitch something, the bottom side of the thing not seen by the operator, so there will be runoff going to occur. So that is the serious problem, we have to correct it. Twisted seams, whenever the operator stretches and seams stitches, the seam going to be twisted, that going to give the aesthetic look of the garment goes off. Mismatch check and stripe. If you are going to use check and stripe fabric, you have to match pocket, sleeve, collar or back yoke, everything. So where we have to match the vertical and horizontal length of the fabric correctly. It is not correctly means that going to be rejected. Mismatch seam. Seam joints like underarm or in the trousers, in the crotch point, all the joints should be pakka joined. Otherwise that going to give not comfort to the wearer. reverse garment part. So there are two types fabric having two sides, one is right side and wrong side. In that case, we are making all the component in the right side, only one sleeve in the wrong side means they are going to give different look in the garment. That also is a very critical issue. And wrong seam and stitch type used. Buyers asking for some other seam and stitch, we are using some other seam and stitch means that is the major defect. Wrong shade of thread used. We have to use the thread dye to match. Whatever the basic fabric color, the same color thread should be chosen. Sometimes people miss needle thread will be one color and bobbin thread will be another color. So assembly defects, this is happening because of assembling of components. These are the common defects where the finished component are not correct, parts of component closer future. Sometimes we are going to eliminate the buttons or zippers like something like that and wrongly positioned. Sometimes the embroidery applique work, the buyer going to specify some measurement, we are going to wrongly position the labels and applique and embroidery. Interlining, the time and temperature and pressure on the interlining is not maintained properly, so that going to create the problem in washing. And garment after washing, this kind of problem going to be arise like bubbling or twisted or something like that. This is because of differential shrinkage of lining and base fabric. So this is the final section, quality control in finishing. So finishing section, we are finishing ironing and packing the garment to ensure to protect the garment, to make increase the aesthetic look of the garment. So common defects going to happen like burned garments because of high temperature, water spots and stains because of wrong handling of ironing table, and flattered nap. See, some fabric having pile stitch, because of high temperature some area going to be flattered, that going to give unaesthetic look because of scattering of light, and crease not correctly formed. In some cases we need creases in the when folding the garment and packing the garment, we need some crease, or in the trousers we need pleat, in the pleat we need crease. That will not be happen because of we are not placing the iron box in that particular place. And garments not thoroughly dried, sometimes the steam on the garment will be left out, that going to create problem like bacterial thing, so that going to increase the odor of the garment. And shrinkage, this is because when the temperature is not maintained, there will be shrinkage in the garment as well as lining, that going to give the cockling look to the garment. So each and every buyer their own standards and specifications. These standards and specifications very much needed because based on the customer feedback and customer inputs, the buyer going to frame the standards and specification. So here the ISO standards or document agreement containing technical specification are the precise criteria to use consistently as rules and guidelines. So in garment industry, for all the orders there will be standards. Specification, see there are three types of specification. One is garment specification, second one is fabric specification, and measurement specification. In garment specification, buyer going to specify the illustration of the garment, what are the various seams and stitches should be used, what is SPA is used, where should be positioned the closures and applique and embroidery. So each and every details minutely given in the garment specification sheet. The people or the manufacturer should follow exactly the specification what given by the buyer. In the fabric specification sheet, people are going to mention the fabric particulars like count, inch per inch, pix per inch, width of the fabric, finishes given the fabric, strength of the fabric, all those things. So for all the things there will be tolerance and minimums. See, minimum means minimum standards we have to fix, and tolerance means plus or minus. Suppose measurement of chest is 21 inches, we cannot exactly produce 21 inches because this is a fabric, it's not paper. So in that case the fabric going to be stretchable. So for that we are going to have tolerance of 21 inches plus or minus quarter inch or half an inch. So this kind of tolerance always you have to give. The final measurement spec, the measurement spec going to detail about what are the various sizes. In each sizes what are the measurement we have listed out. So and they have graded the measurement spec in such a way that the entire thing should be fit into that measurement spec, like and tolerance also they are going to specify for each and everything like neck, pocket, chest, length, front, back. So everything they are going to fix the tolerance. Within the tolerance the garment we are making the garment means that can be passed. Over or under the tolerance we have to reject the garment. So these are the some of the example for specification. For yarn, as earlier told that we have to check the count of the yarn, fiber quality, and twist factor, and what are the thick places, thin places, snaps present in the yarn, and we have to check, sometimes we are going to use dyed yarn, we have to check the shades, color fastness to washing, rubbing, dry cleaning, and light. So for yarn we have thoroughly, we have to specify what is the requirement, and you have to specify also the tolerance. This is for product, the garment that what we are going to make. So here we are going to specify what is the style number, design number, sizes, and what are the trims we are going to use. In the trim also, what type of button, what type of zip, what type of elastic, for everything we have to detailedly we have to write, and we have to specify what is the tolerance for that. So that is listed in product specification sheet. So these are the various example, not only thing we are going to specify the labels, sewing threads, and everything like hang tag, price tag, so packing accessories, everything you have to put together, and we have to tell what is the color, what is the GSM, what is the tolerance for each and everything. This is for raw material specification. Raw material, as I said earlier, we are going to use not only fabric. See, in the garment 90% of the raw material going to be fabric, rest 10% going to be the sewing thread, elastic, zippers, buttons, everything. For each and everything there is a quality parameters, quality specification, and tolerance that is listed in the slide. Well, during process, what are things you have, that what is given, where we are going to check the machine gauge, diameter of the fabric, and P of the fabric, and needle size, stitch, what type of stitch we are going to choose, tension in the while sewing, and GSM of the fabric, everything you have to ensure that in the process. Finally, the care labels and symbols. This is very, very important. Once the garment is made, that sent to the customer going to use the garment while laundering, they have to ensure that they have to follow the instruction what already clearly stated in the care label. So in the care label, there are a lot of instructions will be denoted. So the customer should follow that. If he follows and he going to get some problem, means he can put a debit or claim the thing from the buyer. So in the care label, these are the information going to be listed out. Like material, what type of material you are going to use, that is cotton. If cotton you are going to use, we have to tell in different language as per the buyer requirement. And if there is any variation in the composition, we have to mention that also, like cotton, polyester, lycra, what percentage we are having in that particular garment. This is the example for typical care label, where you are going to mention the size of the garment, style number, and origin of the country, like made in India. And reverse side of the care label, you are going to give the care label symbols, whether it is machine wash or tumble dry, chlorine bleach, and dry clean likewise. So these are the standard symbols. So for washing, that may be hand wash, or the temperature may be 40 degree, 50 degree, likewise we can increase. And for whether the garment should be bleached, if in case bleach means chlorine bleach, the into mark shows that we should not bleach the garment. So ironing, the ironing box, there is a dot inside the ironing box that going to denote the increase in temperature. The into mark says that should not be ironed. Dry cleaning, dry cleaning is a symbol, circular, and the square. So it denotes that the how much percentage of dry cleaning can be carried out, and the way of drying will be flat dry or tumble dry. These are some of the international care labeling system. There are different countries having different system. British care labeling, AISTM care labeling, Japanese, Canadian, and Indian care labeling. So in this entire chapter topic, we have discussed about quality in apparel, where we started with definitions of quality and quality control, and we differentiated the quality control and quality assurance. Then we are looking into the quality in fabric, where we discussed so many things like what are the defects occur in the fabric, how to eliminate that. Then we have discussed the quality in spreading, and quality in cutting, and quality in sewing, and finally quality in finishing. Once you ensure quality in each and every section, we are going to make a quality product to the customer. And finally, we discussed the various standards and specifications used in the garment industry, and we discussed garment spec, measurement spec, and fabric spec. And finally, we have discussed about the care labeling. We have seen different symbols for care labeling, what is the importance of care labeling, and so we are going to given the entire outlook of the quality in the apparel industry.